Romantics everywhere fell under its spell, including a pair of lovebirds who booked into the Burlington Hotel as Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which is reasonable because it is Mel and Pam Smith. So that song has followed you two around, has it?
Yeah, I'm afraid it was all a lie what Chris was saying about the reason he wrote the song. It was the first time he saw me in a red dress that he actually... it moved him so much.
Lovely legs.
But actually it really has, in fact. We always felt it was our song, and then we met up with Chris and with Diane in Barbados one night, and he sat down at the piano and played it and insisted that Pam and I danced to it in front of a lot of people, and that nearly killed the marriage. So it's been a sort of a marvellous full circle.
Full circle, yes. Lovely story. Thank you, Mel, and thank you, Pam.
Amazing.
Well done.
Well, Christa Burgh, this is your life, and you're celebrating 20 years of making music, including your latest of no fewer than 10 best-selling albums, Power of 10. Well, all that is a far cry from your family background. Your late grandfather on your mother's side was a First World War general, Sir Eric de Burgh, and your father, Charles Davison, a Second World War colonel in the Special Operations Executive. There you are, 3 weeks after you were born, at the family farm in Las Magnolias, Argentina, on October the 15th, 1948. And we're off to Argentina now, to that family farm, and your father, Charles, and your mother, Maeve.
Hello, Christopher. This is your very proud mother. I'm constantly amazed by your career, especially as I was brought up by a very fierce grandmother to believe that people who went in for music were not able to do anything else. However, lots of love from us here in the Argentine, and many congratulations.
Christopher, wish we could be with you on this very great day of yours. To us, it's a great thing. We're very proud of you. Well done, amen.
Thanks to Colonel and Mrs. Davison. Well, the family farm had been leased out, so your father took a job with a construction company, taking you to Nigeria. It's a boarding school for you in Ireland at the age of 8, and at 12 you go to public school, Marlborough College in Wiltshire. And that's where you first show an interest in music.
Remember, Chris? You joined the jazz club I used to run.
Your English master at Marlborough, you haven't seen him since you left 27 years ago, Dennis Silk.
It's wonderful to see you.
Thank you for having me. I bet he hasn't changed a bit, has he? Tell us about the swinging 60s at Marlborough College, Dennis.
Well, every boy seemed to have a guitar, but I'm not quite sure how you came by your guitar. Perhaps Brother Richard could let us into the secret.
Richard.
Well, yes, it's quite true. He actually nicked my first guitar, but I think it ended up in the right hands. He had the real talent.
And I have to tell you that my own street cred with my own children is enormous now that I taught their pop idol.
May I just quickly say that your English teaching inspired me to a great love of the language, and is one of the reasons I am a songwriter today.
He's a very nice man.
Thank you both.
Bless you.
In 1966, you start at Trinity College here in Dublin, studying English and French, but still entertaining. You went on stage with the Trinity Players, and here you are, the minstrel, in a specially written Robin Hood romp titled, and I think I've got this right, We've All Made Marion.
And Chris, it was the only title role I ever played. I was that Marion.
She's also made it here tonight, straight from a cabaret tour of Australia, Dilly Keane, and with the author and now director of Dublin's famous Gate Theatre, Michael Colgan.
Great expense, my boy.
But that wasn't all that he wanted to make, was it, Dilly?
No, he wanted to make the big time, and he used to dress like a very big star. And I remember going to a party, and I bought this absolutely gorgeous suit. It was stars and stripes satin, skin tight, and I thought I looked really kind of unique and wonderful. And I went to the party, and there was Chris in the same suit.
Michael, you saw his early promise as a songwriter.
Well, yeah, we cast Chris as the minstrel, which, as you saw, was a big part for Chris. And he said that he'd sing a song on condition he could, one he composed himself. So we said, I think to a man, don't be silly, Chris. We don't want any makey-ups in my panto. What a producer I was.
Thank you, Michael Colgan and Dilly Keane.
Thank you.
Well, leaving Trinity College, you see your future as a teacher, a banker, or a musician. Mark Kavanagh, you gave him his first job as a musician.
Yes, I had just started a hamburger restaurant, Captain America's, and Chris was trying to start his singing career. And he came and sat on a stool 5 nights a week, entertaining the customers, for which he was paid £2 a week, or £2 a night, and as much free, cheap red wine as he could drink, as a result of which he no longer drinks, as we all know, cheap red wine.
Well, you head for Vineyards New in 1972 to London.
And that's how we came to share a flat in Wimbledon.
You haven't seen each other for 10 years. It's writer Richard Fegan. Richard, let me get your credentials right. You went on to write The British Empire for television and Chance in a Million, which was sort of right odds for your careers at the time.
Our careers actually were going quite well because we had actually started a career, each of us. You were becoming a quiche deliverer for delicatessen.
That's right.
And I was doing very well. I was getting my sort of diploma as a furniture remover. And so while I looked further, on Sundays I knew you were going to be a star, really, because I would sit down with my typewriter and a little hunk of cheese and a mouldy piece of bread or something like that.
Those are the days.
Something pitiful, like that. And you go off for an inspirational walk on Wimbledon Common.
Yes.
Or so I thought, until I discovered a long time later that actually you were going around to a neighbour's to have Sunday lunch, using slap-up meals.
Thank you, Richard Fegan. Well, as you know, Chris, that neighbour's wife has since died, but he is here tonight, after all these years, sculptor David Wynne.
Oh, Miss David, you've got to play the guitar.
Oh my God.
Enough of this idle chat. Are you ready, Chris?
What key is it in?
G.
G,
That'll do you. Come on.
How fast are we going?
Are you ready?
Thank you.
God bless you, Chris. Lovely to see you. Good man. See you afterwards, all right? You hang on to that. We're going to do it later. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We shall issue that as a single and make a fortune. Thank you very much. Wonderful. Well, you returned to Ireland and you toured with the group Horselips, and then in 1974 you get your big breakthrough when you were signed to A&M Records by Dave Margerison. And Dave, Chris certainly made an impact when you first met.
Indeed he did. In fact, I'd heard a very promising tape, and I was taken to a darkened room, given a very large brandy. And I'm sitting there twiddling my thumbs, wondering when is he going to appear. And all of a sudden the lights were dimmed, and behind me the cupboard doors opened, and there he was, strumming and singing with a very loud voice a song called Hot Barreled Hannah. I fell on the floor, knocked the brandy over. We all had a good laugh, but I stayed for at least an hour and went through the whole catalogue of many songs he had then, and was quite taken with it, certainly, and introduced him straight away to Derek Green, sitting here, and together he was signed to A&M Records, and the rest you know.
Well, Dave goes on to become your manager and gives you an international break as supporting act to a top band. So off you go on many tours to Canada, England and Europe with Supertramp. And here tonight, Supertramp's John Helliwell and the group's roadie, who became your own drummer, Jeff Phillips.
Hey man, nice to see you.
Well, you didn't give Chris an easy ride, did you?
We shared the same manager, so he ended up on all our tours, of course. She kept turning up. And then one time in Canada, we, at the end of his set, we bundled him into a big flight case on wheels, and he didn't know what was happening. All the audience just didn't know what was happening. It was dead silent. Jeff came out, unlocked the catches. The lid just opened, and a pair of eyes, these little eyes, poking out. Came out, the audience went mad. He took it in real good spirit. Always a trooper. Well done.
And Jeff, when Chris decided he wanted his own drummer, he came straight to you.
Yeah, that's right. Kenny, Chris's manager, came up to me in the pub and said, mine's a pint and you're playing drums for Chris tonight. And that was it. Away we went.
Thank you very much, Jeff and John.
See you later. Thanks, man. That's not a job, John.
1975 was a big year for you with your first album, Far Beyond These Castle Walls, and your first single, Turning Around. Sellout tours of North America follow, and when you encountered Diane again here in Dublin, you were a hit with her too. On November the 25th, 1978, you are married. And you wrote this song for her.
Peace and understanding is the wisdom of her world. She loves without a reason. She gives without a word. There are those who make me smile, brighten up my day. But oh, this woman, she is something else again.
You have great success in Scandinavia with 5 albums in the Norwegian charts at the same time. Another international star sings one of your hits.
When this is your world and I'm counting on you.
And we're counting on him being in British Columbia right now. It is Tom Jones.
Hi, Chris. I wish I could be there with you, but I can't because I'm here in Victoria, British Columbia. But I would like to say that I wish you many, many more years of success. I wish I could be there with you, but have a fine time with all your friends and family.
Thank you, Tom Jones. April the 17th, 1984, you and Diane celebrated your greatest success, which had nothing to do with music, did it?
No, it's the birth of our first child, Rosanna. And we'd been hoping for a long time for a child. And as any parent knows, having a child is the most emotional breakthrough experience anybody can have. And it opened my life up and my head up to many, many things. And being a father was fantastic.
Well, as you will be aware, Rosanna is 7 now, and she's got 2 little brothers, Hubie and Michael, and they have a message for you.
Hello, Daddy. Hello, Daddy. Is this a nice surprise for you? Bye.
Or words to that effect. Now, when you're not composing or performing, you relax, if that's the word, on the golf course. Last year, you joined the celebrations when a Welsh golfing hero of yours became the world's #1 by winning the US Masters. He's in America tonight, but here is his message, Ian Woosnam.
Hello, Chris. Hope you're having a great night up over there in Dublin. You know, after seeing that golf swing, I'm glad you stick to singing and writing songs, because I don't think you're going to make it as a golfer. But you're a tremendous person, and you know, I'm glad to see this is happening to you tonight, and I wish you all the best, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Ian Woosnam. Well, you are, in spite of all that, so keen on the game. There was no greater moment for you than seeing Europe beat the Americans in the Ryder Cup in 1989, thanks to this clinching shot by an Irishman.
He's got the right club.
And here tonight, Irish golf star Christy O'Connor Jr. and another golfing partner of yours, former snooker world champion Dennis Taylor. Dennis, you saw that shot, didn't you?
Well, Michael, that's got to be one of the greatest sporting moments in the history of any sport. And I know Chris was absolutely delighted, not only for Christy, but for all the Ryder Cup lads. And I think it inspired him to put pen to paper, and he wrote a very special song for the boys.
Yes, Christy, how did that inspiration strike?
He made this song about the Ryder Cup, and I mean, the words were just unbelievable. I think if you were very nice to him, he might even give you a little render.
Oh, God, it's very long.
A long song?
It's very long.
What about a short bit of a long song?
Hang on a second.
Very unfair, this, isn't it? I mean,
This is,
really.
At least you can edit this program, is it? This is the ballad of the Ryder Cup, a tale of daring do, of men like Fowler, Clark and James, O'Connor, Woosnam too. That epic battle of the Ryder Cup, a tale from long ago, of birdies missed, of ladies kissed, and the shot that stole the show. There's a lot more coming.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Christy. And Dennis.
See you later.
Well, from golf to something a little quicker, another friend of yours who is currently in hot pursuit of the Formula One World Championship, he takes a pit stop to talk to you after his triumph in Mexico, Nigel Mansell.
Hi everybody, hi Chris. Long time since we played golf, and thank goodness you can sing far better than you play golf. On behalf of Rosanna, myself, my family, and a lot of friends, and I would say tens of millions of people around the world, thank you for all the pleasure you give us. Unbelievable. Enjoy yourself, enjoy the evening. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Nigel Mansell. Well, another famous Nigel is a great admirer of your music, and we go back across the Irish Sea to Oxfordshire to hear from Nigel Havers.
Chris, good evening. I'm sorry I can't be with you tonight. As you see, I'm filming in the West Indies. But I want to wish you great happiness on this wonderful night for you, because not only are you one of the kindest men I've ever met, but you're the sweetest pop star in the world. And it reminds me, when you're next playing golf, keep that right hand just slightly more over, because you won't slice the ball quite so much as you do. And secondly, don't grip the club too tight when you're putting. And you'll play like Nick Faldo. Oh, and also write the occasional song. Maybe one for me one day. Thank you. Have a good night.
Now, Jeff Phillips, when you were on tour back in the 70s, there was a favourite number that Chris and the band had.
Well, yes, there was one song that was requested more often than not.
Oh, yes, a modest little number, yes. And here is a memory of that very tune called Patricia the Stripper.
Piece
And they've flown in from Canada tonight, minus Patricia, the boys in the band.
Hi guys. Hi boys. Congratulations,
Well, it's not quite the finish. We heard earlier from three people very close to you, and right now they are closer than you think because they have special permission for a late bedtime. Rosanna, Hubie, and Michael. Mr. Burgh, this is your life.
Love for Rita may be reconciliation for Alma. Coronation Street is next tonight here on Central.